What if I just told you there are two little girls in Saudi Arabia whose lives make Elon Musk look? Frugal Princess Noura and Princess Foda, daughters of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, are not just royal children. They are heiresses to $1 trillion empire. Where toys aren't plastic, they're gilded Fabergé eggs. Where summer break means jetting to Versailles, not for vacation, but to visit one of their own palaces. At just a glance, their world is wrapped in unimaginable wealth. A $320 million French chateau with its own underwater meditation room, a private Airbus jet featuring a garage for their Rolls-Royce, and perhaps most insane original art by Da Vinci, Monet, and Renoir. Not in museums, but in their hallway. But here's the twist no one sees coming. These girls aren't just playing princess. They're being raised like future heads of state, fluent in French, trained in diplomacy, shadowing billion-dollar negotiations before hitting puberty. And at minute 14, we'll show you exactly how their lives are being engineered to control not just a legacy, but global influence. Because when your family controls oil, tech, sports, entertainment, and even what art hangs in the Louvre, being born rich isn't the story. The story is, what kind of power are you being trained to wield? Stay with us, because behind the chandeliers and private yachts is a world few outsiders ever see. And what you'll discover next might just change how you think about royalty forever. Princess Noura and Princess Foda didn't just arrive into luxury. They were inserted into a living legacy, one that began deep beneath the sands of Dhahran in 1980, when American geologists struck oil and rewrote Saudi Arabia's destiny overnight. That single seismic discovery gave birth to Saudi Aramco, now the world's most valuable company, worth over $2 trillion, and it catapulted the House of Saud into a different dimension of wealth. We're not talking private island rich, we're talking entire economy rich. Today, their father, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, personally controls over $25 billion, but that's just his slice of the pie. The real treasure, the House of Saud's total fortune, is estimated at a staggering $1.4 trillion. That's 16 times more than the entire British royal family. That's, we don't talk about money, we move markets rich. That's, you never fly commercial because you own the aviation company rich. For Princess Noura and Foda, this isn't background noise. It's the air they breathe. From birth, they were surrounded by whispers of oil diplomacy, billion-dollar fund managers, and royal protocols that span centuries. But it's not just money, it's influence. Through the Public Investment Fund, their family holds major stakes in Disney, Uber, and even Newcastle United Football Club. Their household decisions echo across Wall Street, Hollywood, and the Premier League. And here's the part no one talks about. Their lives are being curated not to enjoy wealth, but to manage it, shape it, expand it. Because when your bedtime stories are about oil embargoes and foreign policy, you're not just being raised, you're being briefed. For most kids, home means a bedroom with glow-in-the-dark stars. For Princess Noura and Princess Foda, it means waking up in a palace that makes Buckingham look like a quaint Airbnb. Let's start in France. Just outside Versailles sits Chateau Louis XIV, a $320 million estate modeled after the grandeur of French royalty. But this isn't just a replica. It's a technological masterpiece hidden inside a 17th century fantasy. 10 suites, a gold leaf ballroom, a wine cellar filled with Chateau Lafite Rothschild vintages, and beneath it all, an underwater meditation room surrounded by a living aquarium. Every chandelier, every marble staircase, every hidden hallway is controlled by smart systems. Lights, fountains, climate, all managed with a single smartphone. Because when you rule oil, data becomes your butler. But that's just their European base. Back in Saudi Arabia, the Al Yamamah Palace is rumored to hold over 1,000 rooms. Entire wings are reserved for art. Banquet halls host hundreds of dignitaries beneath ceilings dripping in baccarat crystal. There are corridors of handcrafted Italian marble, dining rooms wrapped in Hermès silk, and private museums holding Monets. Renoirs in Islamic calligraphy curated to reflect not just wealth but identity. These aren't residences, They're soft power structures. They're built to impress foreign ministers, to intimidate rivals, to signal this is the scale we operate on. And for Noura and Foda, these are their playgrounds. They've learned to host international guests before they learn long division, because diplomacy, in their world, begins in the foyer. Most billionaires have jets. The Saudi royal family builds flying palaces. For Princess Noura and Princess Foda, stepping onto a plane doesn't mean entering a cabin, it means entering a skyborne estate. Their father's private Airbus A300, valued at over $500 million, has been gutted and rebuilt into a floating luxury compound. The moment you walk in, you're greeted not by flight attendants but by baccarat chandeliers, a salon with Italian leather lounges, and a dining room laid with Hermes tableware. There's a full-size Turkish hammam lined with Carrara marble, a private spa, bedrooms dressed in fret linens with 24K gold fixtures in the bathrooms, and yes, an actual garage on board. Designed to hold a Bugatti Chiron or a Rolls-Royce Phantom, because when they land, the luxury rolls out with them. Then there's the Boeing 747 Flying Palace. This one features a private concert hall, acoustically engineered for live performances mid-flight. It's also used as a diplomatic command center, where international negotiations happen over saffron tea and satellite feeds. And that's just the top tier. The royal fleet includes Gulfstreams and bombardiers for shorter trips. Each aircraft has its own dedicated crew, trained to maintain what they call the royal standard. Think Michelin-starred meals at 38,000 feet. Think silk robes and private cinemas. Think full Wi-Fi encryption so that even a child's iPad session is secure. But here's the real kicker. These jets aren't just about comfort. They're about mobility of power. The royal family can cross continents overnight, not just to travel, but to govern, negotiate, and influence, without ever touching a commercial runway. And for Noura and Foda, this is normal. By age 10, they've flown farther and more luxuriously than most presidents ever will. When your life on land feels like a royal fantasy, what do you do at sea? You build a yacht that makes Monaco jealous. Enter the Serene, a $458 million super yacht that's not just a boat. It's a floating kingdom. At over 440 feet long, it has 2 helipads, an underwater observation lounge, and a spa complex that rivals anything in the Maldives. Princess Noura and Princess Foda don't have vacation on the Serene. They live on it like it's an extension of their palaces. The yacht features a glass-bottom swimming pool suspended over the ocean, a Turkish bath, a spiral staircase carved from Italian marble, and the kind of personalized service that makes 5-star resorts look basic. But the real flex, there's a snow room on board an artificial winter chamber, built just so guests can cool off after a sauna. On a yacht, in the middle of the Red Sea, below deck, a hidden submarine garage allows discreet underwater travel. No paparazzi, no noise, just silent exploration beneath the surface. The art on board includes custom installations, curated just like in their royal palaces. Every inch screams, we don't rent luxury, we redefine it. Alongside Serene is Pegasus, a slightly smaller but no less extravagant vessel, designed for intimate royal events. It features an open-air cinema beneath the stars, a ballroom that floats above the waves, and a kitchen manned by chefs trained in Paris and Dubai. But these yachts aren't just for play. They're diplomatic battlegrounds, hosting secret meetings, billion-dollar negotiations, and quiet alliances that never make the press. When global leaders want to speak off-record, they don't meet in boardrooms. They step aboard Saudi steel floating in international waters. And for Noura and Foda, they don't see waves. They see leverage. Art, to most people, is decoration. To the House of Saud, it's a strategic weapon. Within the private residences of Princess Noura and Princess Foda hang pieces that could bankrupt museums. The crown jewel Leonardo da Vinci's Salvator Mundi, the most expensive painting ever sold at $450.3 million. And no, it doesn't hang in a museum. It hangs in a private viewing room, behind silk-covered walls, under lighting calibrated to Louvre standards. This isn't a flex, it's a message. By acquiring such icons of Western civilization, The Saudi royal family positions itself not just as buyers of culture, but as guardians of it. They don't just collect art, they rewrite where it belongs. And that's just the beginning. There are ethereal Monet landscapes, intimate Renoirs, rare Islamic calligraphy pieces that bridge Middle Eastern heritage with European finesse. The private galleries themselves are architectural statements, floors of imported Italian marble, lighting systems that shift with time of day, walls lined in Parisian silk. But why does it matter? Because in the world of elite diplomacy, taste equals access. A private art tour can say more than a press conference. A curated exhibition in Riyadh can open more doors than a trade deal. And Princess Noura and Foda, they were growing up in these spaces not as passive viewers, but as future curators of influence. They're being taught that owning history isn't just about power, it's about narrative control. In a global landscape where soft power now rivals oil and arms, this art isn't just legacy, it's leverage. And for the daughters of MBS, it's just another room in the house. Block 6, what happens when power is taught before puberty? For Princess Noura and Princess Foda, luxury isn't the end goal. It's the background noise to something far more calculated: training for legacy. Their father, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, isn't just raising daughters, he's engineering successors to a new royal identity, one that blends tradition with global relevance, while the world debates oil futures. Noura and Foda are being tutored in global economics, diplomacy, and geopolitical strategy. They're teachers, former diplomats, Ivy League scholars, and economists flown in from London, Paris, and New York. This isn't homeschooling, it's dynastic grooming. Their exposure goes beyond books. They attend investment summits alongside billionaires. They sit in on charity gala dinners where art, oil, and influence trade hands over foie gras and billion-dollar pledges. At the center of it all is the public investment fund, PIF, Saudi Arabia's $700 billion sovereign wealth machine. It's a chessboard of global control, with pieces placed in Uber, Disney Plus, Lucid Motors, and Newcastle United. The girls are already being prepped to oversee this portfolio not as passive heirs, but active players in industries that will define the 21st century. And here's the twist, it's not just business. Under Vision 2030, Saudi Arabia is reshaping the role of royal women, no longer shadows behind thrones. They are becoming the faces of philanthropy, diplomacy, and modernization. Noura and Foda are expected to lead initiatives in healthcare, education, sustainability, even AI and tech investment. Because the oil won't last forever, but influence, if taught well, can outlive dynasties. So while the world watches their yachts and chandeliers, what they should be watching is how these girls are being shaped to move nations. And what happens next? That's where the real story begins. Princess Noura and Princess Foda are more than just the richest kids on earth. They are symbols of a dynasty in transition raised on Baccarat and bulletproof Benzes. Yes, but also on briefings, expectation, and purpose. While most children learn to navigate school hallways, they navigate corridors lined with Da Vinci's, while others dream of fairy tales. They live one scripted by geopolitics, legacy, and strategic power. But here's the question that lingers: are they heirs to tradition or architects of transformation? Because the wealth they inherit isn't just about gold and art, it's about responsibility. It's about navigating a post-oil future where influence is shaped by diplomacy, investment, and cultural relevance, not extraction. Their story doesn't end with yachts or chateaus. It begins where those things lose their meaning, when power becomes invisible and intentional. So the next time you hear about royal heirs and lavish lifestyles, ask yourself, what does it really mean to be born into a trillion-dollar throne? And who are the daughters quietly being trained to sit on it, not to rule, but to reshape it? Comment below. Do you think Princess Noura and Princess Foda will preserve the old legacy or redefine what royalty looks like in the 21st century? And tell us, who should we uncover next in the world of hidden dynasties and unimaginable power?